This is the Patriots Prayer Podcast. It's a tremendous show, one of the greatest shows in the history of the world.
This is Bryson Gray, and you are watching the Patriots Prayer.
America's falling, they all say. Gather the faithful now and pray. The Patriots Prayer. The Patriots Prayer. All the wicks are trimmed, oil is filled to the brim. I have been changing somehow. I'm the radical now. America's falling, they all say. Gather the faithful now and pray. The Patriots pray.
My goodness, what a difference 24 hours can make, folks. 24 hours. In 24 hours, we've had FaceTime with the president, Marjorie Taylor Greene. We've had multiple sponsors contact us. The outpouring of just, love and support has been overwhelming. It's been overwhelming. I went to that rally yesterday, and they made it extremely hard to get in. I'm telling you, they made it extremely hard. We had special guest invitation passes from the president's team directly. We had our own special entrance. I'm gonna break the whole story down. I'm gonna break it all down to you because some parts of it's frustrating, some other parts of it's absolutely funny as can be. Now that it's over, it's funny, right? But at the time, I was not laughing. I was absolutely not laughing. So Michaela and I, we left the hotel, and her daughter, another friend, myself, all get into a Tesla. We drive over to the event, and we go to the special parking lot, supposedly for VIP guests and that sort of thing like us. I'm not a big shirt unbuttoned at the top guy. I don't want you guys to see all my tattoos. So we get there, we pull up to the lot, the police officers are all out front. We show them the special guest pass and explain to him, hey, we're getting ready to be on stage. We're getting ready to be on stage with the president. And I'm talking about within 40 minutes. And there was all kind of press junkets that had to happen prior to that. So interviews with, this press company, that press company, reporters all over the place talking to everybody. And so we get there and we're trying to get into the lot and they won't let us in. They absolutely will not listen to what we're telling them. They won't let us in. And I'm getting angry. I'm not a patient person. I'll just be honest with you. I'm not very patient. Incompetence pisses me off more than anything else in the entire world. I hate incompetence. And these people weren't being just incompetent. They were being willfully ignorant. They knew what they were doing. We explained to them what they were doing. We were in contact later with people on the inside who also told them, hey, what the hell are you doing? They need to be in here. And so what it boiled down to is that she needed to get in regardless. So we said, Michaela, hop out right here. Her friend hopped out. She hopped out. I hopped in the driver's seat. I had, the kid. I was going to go park and find them later on the inside. However, it gets wilder. So I pull down to the next gate, where the general admission gate, right? By this time, they said that lot was full. I go to another gate, and He lets the guy pulls into that gate. I pull behind him. I try to get in. The cop stops me and waves me off. No, I can't let you in here. Explain the same thing to him. Guys, we're supposed to be inside. We're guests of the president. And didn't matter. Matter of fact, if anything else, they started treating us with a little more contempt. And it's hard not to think that, because that's exactly, I mean, that's what happened. I mean, literally, that's what happened. So, you know, he says, you know, the only your one guy tells me, he says, well, your best option is probably to go back to the hotel and Uber back. So I drive down to the hotel, and you know, I get out. Me and the kid get out. We're standing there. I order a lift to go back to the hotel. It's funny as hell because anyway, the Uber driver pulls up. We get in. We take a hell of a long time getting back over to the hotel because there's so much traffic. Guys, I want you to understand, there are thousands of people surrounding the arena. All the bullshit reports that people are putting out there, they had empty seats. Their arena wasn't full. They're so full of shit. Let me tell you something. They absolutely have no clue what they're talking about. They're grasping at straws. That arena was so full. What you couldn't see was the hallways on the inside around the arena were also littered with people. And, you know, the whole one back side of it was press, and, you know, down there's like 2 levels of people, and the rows are, I mean, these are just absolutely full. There's people everywhere. It was massive. So I'm coming back to the front of, and I'm late getting back there because we had the Uber, Lyft back, whatever. We get to the front. We see the big giant, you know, little Jumbotron looking TV thing on the outside of the arena. I see Michaela get on stage. I'm still out front. I call in. Tell her, hey, we're out front. We're at the press entrance. And there's no one here. And there's just a long line of people. And I'm in the back of this long line. I'm like, what the hell is going on? This is so uncoordinated. But it wasn't the Trump team. It wasn't the people on the inside that were doing this. They just, on the outside, they didn't know what the hell they were doing. I mean, to be quite honest with you, it was a shit show. And quite frankly, it was, I'm not going to go there. But anyway, listen, it was a shit show. We get there. I'm standing out front. I have kid. I'm looking up at the Jumbotron. I see Michaela starting her speech, and the kid goes, "That's my mommy." And then the police officers all turn around like, "What does she mean, her mommy?" And she's pointing to the big TV up there, you know. And at this point, the state director, Secret Service, come out of the entrance, and, you know, guy with the earpiece and all that kind of thing. He said, "You come here," and everyone's looking at me like, why is he waving you over? It was, Secret Service kind of marches me through a private entrance and down a flight of stairs through a tunnel in the back. And, you know, it was wild, guys. It was, I mean, I get inside the area. I find Michaela. She had just gotten off stage. We'd missed that part of it, obviously. And I was extremely mad about that because we shouldn't have. And they should have made provisions for people in our position who were supposed to be there as guests of the president and speakers. So I'm still upset about it, to be quite honest with you. But hey, what's going on, Leslie? Hey, my growing guys, I love you guys, man. I love you guys. And yeah, you saw I streamed the event yesterday when I got in. But here's what happened. So I greet Michaela, hand the kid off, and she's, you know, walking around, introducing her to everybody. She walks me into a room, and lo and behold, you know, it's a room with tables lining all around the outside of the room, and there sits Marjorie Taylor Greene by her lonesome, just sitting there, going over her speech and that sort of thing. And For those of you who don't know, I'm enamored with Marjorie Taylor Greene. I think she's absolute best. I love the fact that she speaks her mind, that she'll cuss your ass out in a heartbeat. She's not playing. And I love that about her. I absolutely love that about her. It was a little wild meeting her in person because I thought she'd be taller, right? I thought she'd be bigger, man. I thought Marjorie Taylor Greene was 10 foot tall. I really did. Yes, she is, Dad. Absolutely. I told her too. Listen, I told her. Michaela was right there. I told her, I walked in, I said, hey, listen, I'm typically not like a starstruck person at all. Zero. Just doesn't matter to me, but I told her, you're absolutely, like, I love you. You are absolutely the best person. I love to watch, quote, and I got my little hug in, of course. She really does embody the attitude that I think most of those people that hold office should, like the idea that we sit there and we legitimize just really stupid arguments with other folks by having them. It amazes me that we have conversations about some of the things we have conversations about, and she doesn't play games. And that's what I like about her. I really do think that more people should adopt her attitude, and that's why I like her. So we talked for a bit. We chopped it up for a few minutes, and she had to go outside. She just wanted to, get her head straight before she was getting ready to go herself up on stage and give her own speech. And we got her to agree to join us on the Patriots Prayer Network and come on for an interview. And we're looking forward to that. Big time. Absolutely big time. You have no idea. And the first, I skipped the whole part. I don't even know why I did it. So I'm in the car. And this was even before I turned around and I came back, and I'm going to find the picture so that I can show you. But I get a call on my phone, and the call on my phone just kind of threw me for a whole loop. And I'll show you why. Because when the phone rang, I didn't expect this. This is what I saw. What I saw was Marjorie Taylor Greene calling me on FaceTime with Michaela. So for a guy who likes to talk, all of a sudden I was really quiet. I was like, I didn't know what to say. Like I was not expecting that when I answered the phone. So, man, needless to say, it just got better from there, right? It got much better from there. And so I'm now in this tunnel behind the stage, where I don't belong, right? I don't belong there. Where we're at is not VIP section. This is where JD Vance and Donald Trump and those guys are going to be. I met multiple people. I met the lieutenant governor. I got all their phone numbers, direct phone numbers and lines. We had amazing conversations, nice people. And Atlanta, I'd never been there before. We had an amazing time. We went out to, if you're ever in Atlanta, guys, I'm going to give you a tip. Go down to steakhouse called Prime. The guy who owns it, his name is JB. The place is amazing. He's got a cigar bar on one side, the restaurant on the other. The music is great. The ambiance is great. They decorated absolutely amazing. You guys have no idea who you may even run into there, because we ran into a lot of folks. I mean, I don't want to give out all the names. I was expecting Michaela to actually join me on this live, but she had something she had to do, and I didn't want to waste too much time going on. So we will have her on later tonight, maybe, or tomorrow when she's back home, but she's running around right now. As you can imagine, after that speech she gave yesterday, it's just, she lit the world on fire, guys. She lit the world on fire. I'm happy to say that a lot of the quotes in the speech are things that we talked about that she quoted me on, like the quality of life versus the quantity of life. That was all me. The rest of that was just her. And some of that stuff she said wasn't even in the actual papers that she was reading. As we were preparing, I had to go down and have it printed at the front desk of the hotel, and I had the chance to kind of skim through it before it was printed, and so I knew exactly what was in the speech. And my God, you know, what a personality for a young girl. You got to remember, I've known this girl since she was in like second, third grade, right? I've known her since she was just a little knobby-kneed little girl next to my knobby-kneed little daughter at the time. They were best friends growing up. So, you know, to see this, you know, change in her and see this, you know, responsibility for the community that she's in, and to take it so seriously and to be so brazen about the things that she said was absolutely amazing. I was blown away, guys. I was blown away along with everyone else. And I knew what was going to happen before it happened. And I was still blown away. And exactly, DJ. You're exactly right. And one of the, and I just to, you know, to pile onto that, we know what happened yesterday when the Patriots Prayer Network was mentioned, you know, and shouted out in front of the world multiple times. My alerts on this thing have not stopped. It has been constant. It's been constant. And there are other people trying to get a hold of me that, you know, we're doing a lot more. Put it that way. We're lining up a lot of stuff right now. I really wish Maurice would have been able to go. But you know what, though, it was his son's birthday, and he did exactly what a dad was supposed to do. And kudos to him. But I was glad I was able to get there when I did. And it was hard because I was in South Lake Tahoe, and I got the call and the invite, and I was like, oh, what am I going to do? I've been out here for days. I'm going to have to fly home, run to the house, pack a suitcase back to the airport, off to Atlanta. I was going on 50 hours with no sleep, guys. No sleep. When you saw me at the rally, I had not been to sleep in 2 days at that point. That's how much as I just been hustling. I knew I had to be on it and use this moment to parlay this into something bigger. And we did. And you saw it. The world heard the name Patriot Prayer Network yesterday multiple times. And there were connections that were made. I met Alveda King. I met just a long list of people. I don't want to say all their names, you know, and they end up watching this and I hurt someone's feelings because I didn't mention their names. I was tired. So I took a lot of phone numbers, and you're going to see some really cool guests coming up. And don't forget, guys, we're getting ready to do the podcast with Eric Maltier, and he was the one that was set up by the FBI and the Gretchen Whitmer kidnapping. And we're going to be doing a whole expose on that thing. And we can't wait, because that story needs to be told. What the FBI did to these guys was absolutely atrocious, and it needs to be exposed. And you, honest to God, what we heard on the news was like not even 1% of it. It was terrible. And we're gonna do a 3-part series on that coming up. We're talking to him now, working with the independent journalist doing the documentary based on his story, and we're gonna kind of go along the same lines of the story that she's telling in the podcast to give you an idea what the movie's going to be and to help promote that. So we got our hands in a lot of different pots right now, and we're obviously developing Conserve the Culture with Michaela, and she'll be doing her podcast here within the next 2 weeks. Actually, I'm going to have her start streaming with us prior to actually doing her own show, so that we can kind of introduce her to the world and get her feet wet. Don't have you can obviously see she's not shy. And in the least, she's not shy. She got up on that stage and she said, what did she say? She said, "I'm glad you guys came to see me." So shy bone in her body, I don't think she has a single shy bone in her body at all. Yeah, we were just all blown away. She had a lot of support there, and yeah, man, it was great. Here, let me play a little clip, guys. Let me play a little clip and take a look at this absolutely amazing clip. And this was the second time she was speaking. I was right there behind the platform. In fact, I mean, it's hard to see me, but I'm not in the seats. I'm literally at the stage. So we were inside of the barriers and all of that. I mean, I'm walking around in the back of the stage. I'm doing like this because I'm thinking, man, if they figure out I'm not supposed to be here, they're going to kick me out. So I'm walking around like this. I'm not kidding you guys. I'm really not. I'm like, there's somebody's going to figure out I'm not supposed to be here and kick my ass out. So I'm just walking around like I belong, talking to whoever and making a million connections and exchanging phone numbers with people and state reps and just great, man. What a great time. So here's that clip, and I shortened it a bit just for brevity's sake, but take a look.
Whatever I can to help you, okay? Thank you, Dan. Thank you very much for your help. Great job. You want to say something else?
Man, you know, I thought I was done. But I do want to add on to some of the remarks that were made by others, and we do need to do our best to get the message out there. The fight is nothing if all we do is talk about it amongst ourselves. So with that being said, since you said you'd help me, shameless plug, if y'all need anybody to knock doors, make phone calls, wave signs, get people out to the polls, call me at Conserve the Culture. Because not only do I mobilize the HBCU students so that they may get this message, but I'm the best person when it comes to black engagement in the black community. And nobody needs this message more than my folks. So do y'all care for real? Are y'all with us for real? ConserveTheCulture.com for any and all inquiries. Y'all can follow me at Miss Kayla, baby. I'm going to give it back to Big T. Last thing, make sure you guys tune in to my podcast dropping soon on the Patriots Prayer Network. Thank you all.
Check that out. So what you didn't see was I was sitting right there off stage. She hugged Trump, and as she hugged Trump, she caught sight of me, and I'm like, she turned right back around. Oh, I forgot to plug the podcast. You know, that kind of loyalty, man, and friendship over this many, many years that, you know, our families have shared is priceless. And who would have known that we would have ended up on the same path the way we did? She was my daughter's friend, and I never expected her to grow up into this political powerhouse that she is. I saw political figureheads in the back talking to her about, you know, a run for office and mentoring her and helping her in her journey. I went out with her and we celebrated after the fact. As you'll see, I'll show you real quick. Here, let's take a look. We went out to, like I was telling you before, it's a place called Prime, guys. Amazing place. We're out. I can't say enough good things about this particular area here. We were in there. She's like, you need to talk to this person. This person owns this company and he's into this, and this person owns that, and this person owns Macau whiskey, and this person, just person to person to person. And she knew them all. And they all knew her. They're talking about Waka Flocka showing up, Boosie showing up. They were all a million famous names, just a million famous names. And it was just a good time. But I got to a point where I'm like, you know what? My old ass has to go home and go to sleep. I don't give a damn who shows up. I need sleep. I'm going on, 50 plus hours, no sleep. It's time for me to get to bed. I got to be up and be at the airport at 5 a.m. in the morning. I wish I could have stayed out. I wish I could have gone everywhere else they went after that. But no, Eddie, don't do stuff like that. I'm a good 9, 10 o'clock at the latest type person, right? So they went on to have an amazing time. And yes, Leslie, she is just getting started. And she, absolutely, what an amazing time. And the way she presented herself, when she was every bit of calm, when you meet her, when you talk to her, you sit down with her, she's just a regular person. And then you get her behind that microphone on that stage, and she just completely, turns into this, she eviscerated Kamala Harris. The left are all over the internet talking about it, mad about it, tearing her down. You're destroying your brand. You're this, you're that. They're using you. There it is. She ain't falling for none of it. She's not falling for none of it. And the rest of them are showing empty seats and trying to act like the venue wasn't full and just trying to, whatever makes them feel better, right? That's essentially it. Because if they accept what really happened yesterday, it would just hurt their feelings too much. And we know they're an emotional bunch of people. That's what they are. They're extremely emotional folks. So, we get out of there and we're leaving. Oh, by the way, real quick, when you heard Donald Trump say, I'll do anything to help you, I was thinking to myself, Michaela, you got him. Now all you got to do is ask for the damn interview right on the stage in front of everybody. There's no way in hell he can turn it down. And she didn't ask. And I was like, oh, shit, she freaking missed the opportunity. But she didn't. There was more. So, guys, we are now a part of that Trump team. That's what it turns out. And look who it is. Look who it is. Michaela. I'm live. Can I send you a link?
I cannot call in. I am out still. I have been out all home until a little bit later.
This is just I don't need you to do like the podcast. This is just a live I'm shooting. It don't matter where you are. Yeah, if you don't mind.
I won't be able to stay on long.
That's all right. That's all right. People want to hear from you, and I wanted to get it out there and ride the wave while it was hot. Where can I send the link to? Can I send it to you on X?
Yeah.
All right, you got it. I'm going to hang up now and look out for that link. Just click it and come on. You hear me?
Yeah.
So I'm going to send it right now. When you get the link, just click it and come on.
Right now?
Yeah.
I'm in a meeting right now.
I got you.
Yeah,
So, oh, okay. So just call me when you're back later and we'll do something.
okay.
All right. Have a go. Hey, is everything going well?
You see, it's still crazy.
I bet. It was nuts for me going through the airport. And I got recognized several times in the airport. The picture of you and I is going absolutely nuts. And I have other things I wanted to talk to you about because I made some business connections last night. And yeah. I know. So we got to talk. So as soon as you're done, I got some other moves to make with you. I don't want to say too much. I'm on a live right now, but as soon as you get a chance, give me a ring back.
Okay.
All right. We'll talk to you soon. All right. Bye. As you can still hear, guys, she's just absolutely being pulled in a million directions. The media actually walked up to the car as we were leaving yesterday, talking to her. And, there's a million people that want interviews with her. We've been contacted for interviews with other folks. And we're, like I said, we're riding the wave. We're glad to be a part of the Trump team now. You're likely going to see Michaela giving speeches at other rallies. That's what you're going to see. I'm telling you up front. I was there, and I'm telling you what's going to happen is Trump is going to be tapping her throughout the duration of. Michaela is going to be the answer to Kamala. That's what you just. Am I saying too much? No. Michaela is going to be the answer to Kamala. Right? Kamala, whose father is a Irish Indian and her mother is Indian, but for some reason she's black. Oh no, excuse me, Irish Jamaican, right? That's what it was. Irish Jamaican. I don't want to get it wrong because I don't want nobody to say that I got it wrong. So And people tell you, well, she's all of a sudden, black, and she has not been black before this and all that. Well, that's the reality of it. It's got nothing to do with being racist. It's got nothing to do with any of that crap. It's just the honest truth. Look it up for yourself. It's not like we're here trying to, cast aspersions in her direction and using fallacies to do it, because we're not. And she's even said it out of her own mouth, along with calling people, 18 to 24, stupid, because that's exactly what she did multiple times. But we're getting ready for our event, guys. August the 17th in Eagle, Idaho, at the Old State Saloon. We're going to be getting Michaela up there. We're trying to get her up there. That's part of what I was going to talk to her about right there. Yeah, exactly. That you nailed it. It's her ideology. It's her unaccomplishments, because she's got a lot of unaccomplishments, right? And for me, right, from a guy who understands the, having your freedom taken away and have some of the things that I've gone through in my past, the fact that she withheld evidence that would have otherwise exonerated a man who spent 18 years of his life in prison, and she knowingly, willingly did it. And the only reason that man is walking free today is because somebody had the wherewithal to sue her to release the evidence that got that man out of prison. That should expel her. You should not be able to hold office. You should be charged with a crime because you falsely imprisoned somebody. You knew they were innocent and you withheld the evidence, and you wouldn't give the evidence up until you were sued. You should not just not be able to be president. You should not just lose the election. You should lose your freedom because you took somebody else's away. And that's that for me. That's and if that was all she ever did, that would still be enough not to vote for her. No matter what. So, she doesn't have a single chance in hell of beating President Trump. But, CNN, check this out, guys. CNN went so far as to take a rally shot, a gathering for Kamala, and they used AI to make it look like there were more people there than what they were. Like, they used AI to enhance, make the crowd look bigger. And the reason why we know, while I'm telling you about it, I'm gonna try to find the proof, because I don't like telling you guys stuff like this and then not showing you the proof of it. And our buddy, the old millennial, he's got the proof right there on his, so I don't have to go to the actual CNN and go looking around and all that kind of stuff. So in any case, while I'm looking for this, let me just tell you about it. So there were signs all over. There it is. There are signs all over the background of this photo that they took. People in front of, in a field and that sort of thing. And they just multiplied the people. And the reason why we know that it was fake, that found it. The reason why we know it's fake is if you look at the numbers on the sign, they're skewed. You look to see people's hands going through signs. There are other letters, because everyone knows one thing about AI. It doesn't know how to spell. So if you ever use AI to create a picture with a logo or wording or whatever, it spells everything wrong a million times before it spells it right. And there are little things that disappear and start again. And and it's really easy to tell if you're being critical and you're actually looking close. It's apparent. So watch this. And this is how far. Now keep in mind at the Megan Thee Stallion concert, they actually paid homeless people $150 a head to go in and fill the arena. And then as soon as Megan Thee Stallion was done with her portion of the show, a lot of them still left. So now they're trying to make it out like Trump's no different. Look, if people are, no, that's not true. That place was packed. Matter of fact, when we went outside, it was packed. It was filled. People just out there around the TVs and shit around the. They're crazy. Listen to this though. You're really going to like this because it's gonna. It shows you exactly how far they will go to make it look like she's more popular than she is, and that's their goal. Their goal is to fool us into thinking she's more popular than she actually is. That way, when they try to put in the fix, that we won't be able to question it as much because all the news coverage that they're creating with the Mockingbird media up until that point will be able to substantiate the lie that they're trying to tell later. So look at this.
To try to make the crowds at the Kamala Harris event look bigger. Let me introduce you to Catherine Rampell. She works for the Washington Post and is a commentator on CNN. And this was the image she posted. He said, scenes from the Harris fundraiser in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. Then people started noticing some little issues with this photo. And she said, getting spam claiming these photos are AI. Not sure why I'd use AI to create a crowd of people in downtown Pittsfield. Then people started zooming in. The fuck is going on with that road sign? How does that happen? Someone explain to me how they can put their hands through the fucking sign? And what fucking language is this? Like, it's very obvious. This is all fake. Like, they tried to take a tiny crowd at her fundraiser and make it some big event using AI. We're now at the point that in the last 2 days alone, he caught MSNBC editing a Joe Rogan clip to make it sound like he supported Kamala Harris when actually he was talking about Tulsi Gabbard. Now we got CNN using AI to make it look like people give a shit about Kamala Harris. It has become very clear that the mainstream media is willing to lie directly to your face. It's up to you whether or not you're going to take it.
Guys, it's classic. They're trying so hard and they're failing so bad. It's not even funny. Don't fall for the media tricks. They're doing the old Jedi mind tricks to make you think that she's more popular than she actually is. I've been to multiple Trump rallies. And let me tell you, and I'm sure most of you have been to a Trump rally. How many of you have been to a Trump rally? And just put a 1 in the chat. If you've been to a Trump rally, throw a 1 in the chat. If you haven't, put a 2. I would imagine most people at this point would have been to a Trump rally. And I bet you if you have, you've seen exactly how popular they are because they're full. I went to the one here in Vegas. Sunset Park was so full. There were people like so deep outside of the gates. It's not even funny. Exactly. Kim, Leslie, you've never been? Leslie, we got to get you to a Trump rally. Support our rights. You need to get to a Trump rally. You got to go, man. The energy is off the chain. Guys, listen. If there's a Trump rally in your state, I'm going to get you guys passes. You'll experience a Trump rally the way that I'll take you in there that you've never experienced one before. Guarantee you. You won't get the general admission kind of fun. You're going to get the special guest kind of fun. So, it's really off the chain. There are people deep as can be, everybody moving in unison, a shared value system, and it's multicultural, multicolor. It doesn't, and people from all walks of life. I've even seen trans people, and I'm not kidding you. I've seen trans people at a Trump rally. The one in Detroit had a shirt on that said "Trans for Trump." I'm not making this up. Ask Maurice. Maurice will tell you. Trans for Trump. Gays for Trump. Did you see yesterday when Trump called the guys out in the crowd and he got up and it said Black MAGA? Do you know how many people had Black MAGA shirts on in the ATL yesterday when we were there? It's so cool because listen, guys, we are actually in a movement that's bringing people together. It's bringing people together, and all that stuff that people talk about on the left. You're racist. You're this. You're that. You're homophobic. You're all this. None of that shit's true. None of that shit's true. When you get them all together in one place, the only thing we care about is one another's individuality. We care about our freedom. We care about making sure our kids are protected, making sure that we can afford our rent and buy our groceries and our economy is good. Guys, our economy is pulling back so bad right now that I'll give you for instance. I was watching a report today that showed that McDonald's quarterly earnings for the first time in several, like over 13 quarters, is down, and like a sharp decline down, way down. And it's never down. McDonald's quarter after quarter after quarter after quarter plus never, either they've been stagnant or they've increased in every single situation. So this is an indicator that our economy is pulling back because things are becoming too expensive. If anyone's gone out to get fast food, a damn hamburger is $7, $8 just for the burger. That's if you don't even get the meal and you just want the burger. It's ridiculous. We were driving out to Arizona and we stopped at a McDonald's, my wife and I. We got 2 meals and it was the only thing around. I think we paid $42.03 exactly for 2 meals. Guys, our world is inside out and upside down right now. And we all have an obligation that if we can help, we must help. And the biggest thing we can do to help right now is to make sure that Donald Trump gets elected. He's promised the biggest mass deportation in U.S. history. And that is one of the best things that could ever happen for our country. One of the best things. And it would make you think that there's just not bipartisan support for such a thing, when in fact, that's not true. In fact, that's not true. Hispanic Americans also agree with this on a large scale, on a very large scale, because it affects them. The Black community gets hit extremely hard by this influx of mass illegal immigration into their communities. It takes their resources. They were kicked out of housing projects in Chicago that were meant for American citizens that were given to illegal immigrants. Purdue Foods. And by the way, guys, I'm going to say this. And please, if you don't take anything else from this, listen, I really feel very strongly about what I'm getting ready to say. Don't buy anything Tyson Foods. Anything. If you're going to the grocery store, don't. They said they fired their staff, and they said they're staffing all their places with illegal immigrants, and that's what they choose to. They're only hiring immigrants instead of Americans. We don't want any part of that. You remember what we did to Bud Light? Well, the same damn thing needs to happen to Tyson Foods. They need to feel the pinch. You cannot operate and own and run a company in the United States of America and turn your back on the citizens that live here. So, yeah, Tyson Foods, nobody on the right, nobody on the left, no independent, nobody should be buying Tyson Foods. Not under these circumstances. There are a few companies I feel that way about. Obviously, Nike, Disney, Starbucks. Friends don't let friends drink Starbucks. That's for sure. So there are a few companies that definitely deserve to feel the pinch. But Tyson Foods, in my opinion, is probably the tops on that list. Tyson Fury, huh? Yeah. I like his fights with Wilder. They were great. Good stuff. I miss boxing. I was really looking forward to that Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight. It was the most exciting thing that's happened in the sports world in a long time. For me, anyway. You know, I come from the era of Mike Tyson and that sort of thing. So I was really looking forward to that. I was extremely looking forward to that. So, it's something that, we could have got everybody together under one roof and it would have been fun. We need some of that kind of stuff. We need to be distracted. There's so much bad stuff going on in the world, right? It's not a bad thing to have, something that takes your mind off it every now and again. You got to have fun. Remember why we do this. It's because we love our country. We love our families. We love our communities. So don't let the visceral that we feel toward the left and the things that they're doing and not doing steal your joy, right? You keep on the grind. Obviously, you keep fighting and you keep telling the truth and you keep pushing back and holding the line. But in the process, don't lose your joy. Don't lose your peace. Don't let them take any of that from you. That's because if they do, they win, right? So don't let that happen. You know, always have a reason to smile and remember the reason why you fight the good fight. So I'm going to take a quick break for our sponsors, and I'll come right back here in just a second, guys. Thank you.
Born in the coastal plains of South Texas, Smoking Gun Coffee is founded by combat veterans that know exactly what a cup of coffee needs to taste like. Run by father and son, each coffee bean is perfected, roasted at 500 degrees, and cooled with a Gulf Coast breeze. Smoking Gun Coffee hand makes and bags each ounce of coffee for maximum customer satisfaction. With every purchase, 10% goes back to organizations that help veterans and local communities. That's Texas made, one bag at a time. To find out more, go to www.smokingguncoffee.com.
Guys, we have our own coffee club. As you can see there, we got our Patriots Prayer Coffee Dark Roast by Smoking Gun Coffee. My God, the smell is absolutely amazing. Go to smokingguncoffee.com. Go to the coffee clubs. Click the Patriots Prayer and get you a coffee club membership. It's $39 per month. And they're going to send you 4 bags of coffee of your choosing. They have medium roast, dark roast, and if you should so choose to get one, a special Patriots Prayer mug right there. So you can drink your coffee out of your Patriots Prayer mug to go with your Patriots Prayer coffee. Guys, Milam and his father, just great people. August the 17th, Milam is going to show up in Eagle, Idaho to speak. He's a veteran. Actually, Milam's active duty. His dad's a veteran. So he's going to show up, and we are going to have a great time, and we're going to enjoy our time with Mark Fitzpatrick and in the whole Eagle, Idaho community and those that come out to speak and hang out with us. And we're going to stream live, and we're going to have a great time. We're going to have as many of the Patriots Prayer crew as we can possibly have there. We're going to have Damon Galdo. I don't know if Eric Simpkin's going to make it. We're going to have Damon. We're going to have Nate. We're going to have who else said that they were going to show up? Nate. I believe Elena Barbera is coming, as she told me she was, but she just in the process of moving and things like that. So we'll see what happens. We're going to get as many of us as we can in the same place at the same time, and we're going to have a great time. We're going to have a great time, and we hope to see any of you there that are in that area or want to take the drive down to Eagle, Idaho, and hang out with us. It's going to be a great time. We're flying Michaela out, so you already know she's going to give some kind of a speech. And if you watched the rally yesterday, you know how powerful it can be. So I'm not going up after her, just to tell you. I'm not going on stage after Michaela. I think I will knock mine out first. And then, let her go up and do her thing. But yeah, it's going to be a great time. It's going to be an absolutely wonderful time. And, I love it whenever me and Maurice can get together in the same place at the same time. We always have a good time of it, man. I during the early stages of creating the Patriots Prayer, I went through a vetting process for many such, co-hosts and that sort of thing. And when Maurice and I sat down and we did this, I knew it clicked. I said, that's, he's it. That's the guy. And far as character goes, you couldn't pick someone with better character. Loyal, moral, just a guy with everything that he says is 100%. His integrity is intact. And he's a good dad. He's a good husband. And he believes in the things that he says. And he wants to fight for all the right things. And so do I. And that's why I said, this partnership, this has to work. And it's been great ever since, guys, ever since. And I don't want to leave this this episode without saying, guys, it was because of the crowdfunding and the sponsorships that I was able to, within 24-hour notice, get on a plane and go to Atlanta, Georgia, and meet with the president and Michaela and JD Vance, MTG, and many more. Many more. And yeah, it's only because of your support that I was able to do that. I would not have been able to muster that on my own. So, guys, if you can support us, do support us. We're going to be good stewards with that money, and we are going to fight for all the right things and show up in all the right places and ask all the right questions to all the right people. Every time. Every single time. And the network, we want to grow this thing to, the idea, years ago, I even said, we're going to be the next Daily Wire. And I'll say it with confidence right now, we have more talent than the Daily Wire has right now. Right now. Just apples to apples. If you just take a look at who we have on the roster and who they have, we got them beat. We just don't have the money they have. That's it. Everything else, the talent, the wherewithal, the experience, the background, we have it all. FBI agents, Trump cabinet members, we got it. We got it. So, guys, listen, if you haven't already, one of the things that we're trying to grow on the Patriots Prayer is the terrestrial side of our podcasting, right? So if you haven't already, go to Podbean, PODBEAN, and thepatriotsprayer.podbean.com, and follow us over there. It's important because that's that side of our podcasting with the iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music, iTunes, and the rest. That's where we're starting to see some real growth, and it'd be nice to have our typical audience here, over there as well. We get downloaded all over the country, and some people even outside of the country. It's really wild to see the demographics consistently change and increase and increase and increase. When I sat back yesterday and I'm sitting there at the back of the stage, I'm standing in front of the Secret Service, not behind them. I'm standing in front of the Secret Service. There was no one between me and JD Vance as he was giving his speech on that stage yesterday. If you look at the left backside of the platform, it was me standing there. And to be that close to the action and be able to have access to them and talk to them and all that, and knowing from where, this whole thing started, and to know that we are on national TV now. Putin heard the Patriot Prayer Network yesterday, because I guarantee Putin watched. I guarantee Putin watched Trump give that speech, and everyone in the world that watched that rally heard the name the Patriots Prayer and saw Michaela. And man, that meant a lot. It meant a whole hell of a lot, because it validated all of the work we did up until that point. And God, did it was a lot of work. We put so much time, money, effort, sweat, equity into this podcast and building our roster and in the whole way, not compromising our morals, our beliefs, our faith, staying true to who we are, trying to make sure that we represent those who support us very well. And that's what's most important to all of us. So it was an emotional moment for me, because when I looked at it, it was like crossing the finish line. It was an emotional moment. And I'm not an emotional person, but man, I had to fight back one. I had to fight it back. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie, because we arrived in that moment. And, there were a lot of things that happened even after that moment that kind of solidified that. And you're going to hear all about those things in the next few weeks, I'm sure, as we get, people sign agreements signed and things like that. Yeah, you're going to start to see a big change, all for the good. And the eventuality is, we want Maurice and myself to be in the same state. I want to be sitting across the desk from Maurice, the way Eric is sitting across the desk from Damon. Did you see their podcast this morning, guys? They killed it. They absolutely killed it. They were so prepared. And I'm talking about political badass this morning. They were so prepared for their podcast. And it was just amazing to me that they did as well as they did, and they put that much effort into it, and the quality of the podcast and the set and the production and the truth that they were telling. I was proud. I was proud. And you're going to see every single one of our hosts be exactly like that. That's what they are. They care. They got regular lives, kids, families, and they take the time to come on here and do this because they give a damn, just like us. If they didn't, they wouldn't be here. Trust me. Everyone is vetted hard. We have long, really hard conversations, and it's only on the other side of those that we make that decision of whether or not this person should come on. You'll see me offer people the opportunity to be on the Patriots Prayer Network. Then those conversations happen. And then that's how we know whether or not they're serious. There are other people that we are talking to about having come on the network and stream with us. And, you'll see some of those guys coming up pretty damn soon. We're going to go the educational route, and some of them we're going to go a comedic route with some of the other ones. We're going to have an abundance of different types of shows from different perspectives, but all with the same shared value system. So I want to have this network to where we're streaming right here all day long, every day of the week, every day of the damn week. And when we're not, our community chat and our communities will be going live for those that want to come in and chat with me or Elena or Damon or Eric or Alexandra or Seth or anybody. And because we want to build that community. That's exactly what we want to do. We want to build that, what Maurice calls his tribe of patriots. Did you see Maurice's truck, guys? Oh my God, they knocked it out of the park with his truck. They did that wrap on his truck with that tribe of patriots design. He's got the Patriots Prayer license plate on the front of the truck. It's sick. It's sick. It's really cool looking. It's really cool looking. And guys, listen, this crowd that shows up for us, you guys mean more to me than you know. You mean more to me than you know. And so we're going to do everything that we can to make sure you're always informed. We're always going to tell you the truth. We're always going to be honest with you. We're always going to be working to bring you things that maybe somebody else can't. Right. And there's going to be a lot of that coming up pretty soon, real soon. So look out for that 3-part series with Eric Maltier. And that's going to be a really hard hitting series. And I think at some point we're probably going to involve Nate Kane in that, being the next federal, agent as well, that he may have insight that Maurice and I may not have in dealing with, talking and asking questions about some of the things that these guys were put through by the FBI as the FBI were setting them up. Guys, they didn't even know each other. They didn't know where they were going. They thought they were working a security job. They had us believe these people were part of a white supremacist crew that the FBI infiltrated. And then what happened. But that's not true. It's not true. These people didn't know each other. And they thought they were hired by this other group of people to work a security job. There was no white supremacist group. There was none of that. It was the FBI's creation. Now, they made that shit up completely. And we have the audio to prove it. We have the video to prove it. We have the statements on audio. 16 terabytes worth of data. We even have the FBI saying things like, we gave them the same information over and over again with different numbers just to make it harder for them to sift through the information and, make their lives hard intentionally. They played dirty. They're not the good guys that we were led to believe that they were. I remember hearing somebody in Congress say something to the effect that when people used to see that gold letters on that blue jacket, it was a badge of honor, that those guys used to wear as FBI agents. And over the last few years, the things that we've seen come out of that organization have been completely disheartening. And it's sad. But I have high hopes that there's a better tomorrow, that something is going to go right. Somebody is going to fix this situation. The Peter Strzoks of the world, the Christopher Wrays of the world, hell, even the Alexander Mayorkas of the world and the rest of them, they need to be dealt with. These people are not good. They're not good folks. But thank you guys for hanging out with me. Do me a favor, if you would, at 4:00 Pacific time, Seth is going to be broadcasting the Conservative Corner. Last couple of minutes of his show, I'm going to be joining him, and I'm going to hang out with him for a few minutes on here with you guys. And Seth is a straight shooter, man. He has a way of breaking down things that most people don't. And when I heard him take information in a conversation and then just sift through it and then give it back to people, he does it in such an eloquent way of being able to give you the information in a way that you can understand it, that it's just completely his own. And that's why I wanted to highlight him. That's why I wanted to make him part of the network. And he's very, very talented at it. And he's an ex-police officer, ex-law enforcement. And we love those guys. We back the blue here. We back the blue. We are the MAGA country. We back the blue. We love our country. We love our God. We love our guns. And we love our First Amendment. And I know you do too. And that's why you watch. Guys, as usual, the silent majority, you need to stop being silent and stand your ground. I'm going to play us out with the clip of Michaela with Trump and then on to our outro. Guys, have a great day and join us at 4:00 for Conservative Corner. Have a great one.
Whatever I can to help you, okay? Thank you, Dan. Thank you very much for your help. Great job. You want to say something else?
Man, I thought I was done. But I do want to add on to some of the remarks that were made by others, and we do need to do our best to get the message out there. The fight is nothing if all we do is talk about it amongst ourselves. So with that being said, since you said you'd help me, shameless plug, if y'all need anybody to knock doors, make phone calls, wave signs, get people out to the polls, call me at Conserve the Culture. Because not only do I mobilize the HBCU students so that they may get this message, but I'm the best person when it comes to black engagement in the black community. And nobody needs this message more than my folks. So do y'all care for real? Are y'all with us for real? ConserveTheCulture.com for any and all inquiries. Y'all can follow me at Miss Kayla, baby. I'm going to give it back to Big T. Last thing, make sure you guys tune in to my podcast dropping soon on the Patriots Prayer Network. Thank you all.
This is the Patriots Prayer Podcast. It's a tremendous show, one of the greatest shows in the history of the world.
This is Bryson Gray, and you are watching the Patriots Prayer.